The layoffs cometh once again for the corporate press as legacy media continues to die. But my friends, I have good news. It's not just legacy media. It's also basically everything else. Charlie Kirk tweets, Google will slash 12,000 jobs, 6% of its global workforce. Microsoft laid off 10,000 people 2 days ago. Facebook slashed 11,000 in December. Amazon has laid off 18,000. 51,000 jobs just from 4 companies. And Biden says the economy is going to be fine. Well, fair point. Fair point, Charlie Kirk. Layoffs are bad in general for the economy. But I'm sorry, I'm celebrating this one. Vox Media slashes 7% of staff in new round of layoffs. Jeff Bezos shows up as staff brace for more layoffs. Let them all go. Sprinkle them into the wind. What was that thing that JFK said about the CIA? To grind them to dust and sprinkle them into the wind or something like that? They're going to lay them off. And I say good riddance. Let them go. Here we go. Jeff Bezos sets off fresh wave of panic at the Washington Post. Oh my. Do you think they'll fire Taylor Lorenz? I kind of think they will. They already demoted her. Bezos made a surprise appearance at the Washington Post editorial meeting on Thursday morning for the first time in over a year. His attendance in person sparked fears among staff about the severity of upcoming layoffs by the newspaper, which he bought in 2013 with ambitions to drive into the digital era. In recent years, the Washington Post has suffered dwindling ad revenue, a decline in site traffic, and a shortage of new subscribers. Last month, its publisher, Fred Ryan, announced the layoffs were coming in the new year. Despite his suggestion that cuts would likely only affect a single-digit percentage of its 2,500-person workforce, the news triggered a frenzy among staff, and the paper's union membership grew. Its union guild said it now has 670 members, roughly 67% of those eligible, and that around 60 of those joined since the announcement in December. How funny is that? Oh, by the way, there's going to be layoffs. Quick, join the union. Okay. Staff have provided, it's just funny to me because there are these people who are like, I'm not going to do the heavy lifting to start it. But then when threatened, say, I will now beg you for protections. I'm not a big fan of these unions. I wouldn't join one if I worked there. But it's just my whole life I've experienced this. When I was younger, skating in Chicago, winter comes and we can't skate. And then people take time off, lose their abilities, get out of shape. And it's just winter. It's harder to skate in winter. In California, to skate year round. So I said, guys, I got an idea. Why don't we rent a small little warehouse space for like $1,000 a month? We can skate in it. If we get 20 people, we put $50 a month towards this. We all get keys. We skate. And every single person I knew said, if you build it, I will think about it. If I build it, are you kidding me? You want me to do all the heavy lifting, all the hard work? Get out of here. Then they want to show up after it's done. Man, so many people like that. So many people like that. But, you deserve to get laid off because your company's garbage. You're garbage people. Okay, that was a mean one, but they're bad people. You're bad people. You lie for a living. You provide shelter for people like Taylor Lorenz, who lies and manipulates. And I got to admit, is a very sad and depressing person. All by yourself on New Year's? You're supposed to kiss someone on New Year's. I don't blame her for being upset. I know there's probably a lot of you out there who are alone on New Year's. And let's be real. Some of you probably wanted to be alone. Fine. I don't think she did. She was like low-key the greatest that, I'm alone on New Year's because I'm exhausted. And then during New Year's, she was like, it's just so bad that people are posting these photos at parties when hospitals are full. It's like, dude, I get it, man. You wish you had friends and you don't. Yeah, you could be friends with the crew here at the castle. You just got to stop being a bad person and writing lies on the internet. And then everyone will forgive you. And then you start writing good, correct information. And then everyone will want to be friends with you. I feel bad. But anyway, I feel bad in that capacity. I'm glad to see the layoffs are happening. Vox Media, oh boy, slashing 7%. They say, blah, blah, blah. This comes after the media firm, which owns Vox, cut 39 employees back in July and reduced new hiring in an attempt to head off economic uncertainty. I got to be honest, my friends. Yeah, we're getting hit by it too. Revenue for this month has been very, very bad. Thankfully, we have members, and the members give us a baseline where I can adequately plan. We are not so bad that we're shrinking. We're still growing. A lot of construction underway. But we got hit. January was apocalyptic. December was really bad. Normally, December is the best month of the year. Every company has big ad budgets. When December comes around, they're like, guys, we still have $5 million left we never spent. And they go, spend it. For tax reasons and for departmental reasons. Often these companies will give a department like $10 million. Let's just say it's a varying number, but let's say you get $10 million. If you don't spend it, next year rolls around and they'll say, there was an extra $2 million sitting around, so let's take that from the budget. You don't need it. So they say, no, just spend it. Otherwise they take it away from us. We do need it. We want to use it. Tax is another issue. If that money sits around after the year end, depending on how your business is structured, it's profit. And so you're like, no, look, we allotted this for marketing. It has to go to marketing. We're trying to reinvest. So what happens in December, all of the big companies dump ad revenue and just say, we have to spend it. And for people like me and companies like Timcast, ad revenue goes through the roof. This December, it did not. This December, it tanked. And that's a warning sign. Sign of things to come. That's probably why they're doing these layoffs. When the ad revenue took a hit in December, I said, this is the best month. January is going to be bad. February is going to be bad because they're already bad months to begin with. January is the worst month. Nobody has their budgets yet. January starts, ad revenue's in the gutter. There's only a little bit trickling in. That's why membership at timcast.com was so important to us. Our ad revenue is down substantially. And it's another reason why I started producing more of these segments. I'm like, I got to do more work. I don't just deserve to have the money. I got to do the work to get the money because the money's not always going to be there. I said, okay, we got to increase, ad rates are low, CPMs are down, increase product volume, generate more revenue, pay the bills. So we got hit by it. Hopefully we see the recovery in the next few months. Some are predicting a major global recession and some kind of cyber 9/11. Some are suggesting that things actually get really, really good. For the time being, I'm predicting it's going to get bad because when ad rates drop, it precipitates a drop in commercial activity. That is to say, small businesses like diners or whatever stop advertising when they don't think they can make the money. And that's the majority of where ad rates come from, small programmatic ads from small businesses on the local level. If they don't advertise, they don't have the money, that suggests they're going to slow down business. When they do, people won't have jobs, people won't be able to go out and eat, slow economic activity. And that means everyone's going to get hit. So we get hit by this, but here's the thing. I plan for this. We have a rainy day fund. I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we're still growing. We're just not growing as fast as we were. I think by March, we'll probably have been recovered, but I plan things very carefully. That's why I explain, to the extent that I do about the inner workings of Timcast. You've got to have investments. You've got to have money. You've got to be able to operate for 6 months. Some say 3. I say 6. I need to know that all of my employees are going to get paid no matter what happens economically, which is why we created timcast.com. Become a member if you want to support us. For you, it may be $10. But when we get, if we were to ever reach the size of, say, the Daily Wire with 1 million people, to one person, it's $10. So for some people, it's hard. For some people, it's easy. But to one company, having 1 million people giving you $10 a month, at the very least, you can average out $8 million a month because there's churn. I don't think it's gonna be 200,000 people. So that's how we navigate this. I guess to simplify, I'm laughing as these companies struggle and falter. As they collapse, there's more room for us to grow. But there's an upper limit, and that's what they're finding. The media landscape is decentralizing. The big tech corporate players are failing. Good. It means influence between the industry will be evened out. It means that Timcast may never be as big as the New York Times is or Netflix, but we will have an equal-sized voice with the rest of them. Probably a little bit larger because there's still meritocracy here, and we're good at what we do. But in the long run, it means that they are losing power and their control over the narrative will dwindle along with it. It means that the people who work here will become successful, will be able to change the world for the better, will get paid to do it, and we will all be better off for it. So, forgive me, Washington Post and Vox and Google and Facebook and Amazon, if I'm sitting back with my feet up, gloating and laughing. You know what, man? You deserve it. You will own nothing and you will be happy. they wanted to support the crackpot messaging, then they can revel in it. And the rest of us will pave our own way. Build a better world. Meritocracy. And I'll leave it there. Next segment's come up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.